Hello and welcome to another episode of And There You Have It. Today we are going to be making my mom's homemade chili, but I'm going to take it a step further and we're going to be putting it in a little mini bread bowl and topping it with some onion, cheese, and sour cream. And for dessert, and this is new, first dessert, you are not going to want to miss this, a fudge brownie to die for. So don't go anywhere. Let's begin. And there you have it. So the first thing you want to do for the chili is you need to brown 1 pound of ground beef. Let's do it. Now that our meat is browned, we're ready to go. So all you got to do is switch the pot and toss this in, just like so. Very simple. And the next ingredients are going to be your packet of chili seasoning. Any grocery store has it. 1, 2, 3, toss it in. It's almost like magic. And then 1 can of kidney beans. Juice and all, toss that in. And 1 can of stewed tomatoes. Toss it in, juice and all. Now you want to mix all that up, just like this. And then basically you just bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, you bring it down to a simmer, and after about 10 minutes, you're done. Alright, now that our chili is pretty much ready and we're just simmering it and keeping it warm, we want to prep our bread bowls, and I like to use a nice little Kaiser roll because it's a perfect single serving for each person. So get yourself a little paring knife or whatever, set that down, and what you want to do is start the paring knife at a 45-degree angle, somewhere just above the curve of the bread, just above the curve, 45-degree angle, and what you want to do is jab it in toward the center of the bowl. So once you get it towards the center, you're just going to keep moving it like that in a sawing motion and actually turn the bread. But try to vision the middle of your knife, the tip of your knife, at the middle of the bread. So as long as you keep doing that, and after you go all the way around, it comes right out. Just a perfect little thing. You got a nice little bowl. It's up to you, but I like to take a little bit of it out, just kind of like that. Just reach your hand in, your finger in there, and pull out just to make like a perfect little bowl. That's going to give you enough space to have some chili, and we're going to put it in there and drizzle it over the top anyway, and just set that on the side on your plating so that they can eat it. But this, basically, I just throw it away. It's just a tiny little handful of bread, or you can eat it. Okay. It's time. We've got our bread bowls cut, our chili is ready, we got all our fixings on the side. We got onions, sour cream, and cheese. Here's what you do. You take a little ladle like this, just get a big chunk and toss it right down the center. Don't worry if it spills over, because you're going to actually double this up. Oh, look at that. Right here. Another one right over the top. Let it kind of pour off to the side. It's totally fine. Just like that. Another one. Fill them up, because I mean this is tasty stuff. Let it, like I said, just let it pour off the side a little bit. Oh, you got that. And then take a little handful of chopped onions, just kind of toss them right over the top. As that mixes in, it's going to have a nice little sharp flavor. Then a quick dollop of sour cream, just like that, right down the center. Oh, I'm so excited. Boom, and some cheese right on the top of that. let it just pour off. I mean, this is messy. We want to get this thing just beautiful. And then take your tops just like that. Toss one on the side. Toss one on the side. And there you have it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the chili, and I hope you left room for dessert. Now let's get our dry ingredients going for the fudge brownies that you do not want to miss. I am telling you, these are incredible. So, first and foremost, dry ingredients. Actually, I lied. 325 degrees on your oven, just get it started. Once that's ready to go, then you can do your dry ingredients. We have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. This is 1 1/3 cup of sugar. And we need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're also going to need 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. If you don't have some, pick this up. You're going to need it for a lot of different things. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And just give that a quick mix. Nothing special. Very simple, because we're going to mix all this up anyway once we get the melted chocolate. But now that your dry ingredients are in here, the next step is to melt your chocolate. 4 cups of chocolate chips. Any kind. Semi-sweet's probably the best, but let's do that. The next thing you're going to do is put in your 2/3 of butter, 2/3 cup of butter, and I chopped it into little pieces there. It makes it a little bit easier to melt, but just keep this at a constant stir. You really want to stir this up until it's smooth. Okay, now that we have our chocolate and our butter mixed together, we are just going to pour that right in to our dry mixture. Just pour it right in. You really want to get every piece of chocolate. You don't want to miss out on any of that nice flavor. And then we need these 4 eggs. Toss those right in. And we're going to beat this whole thing up until it's as smooth as I don't even know what. So we put in our 1/4 cup of water. We got our 4 eggs. And we got all of our chocolate mix. I see a shell. We don't want that in there. We're going to toss that out. And we just want to mix this up, and you just want it as smooth as possible. Now that your brownie mix is as smooth as honey, I thought of it, you're going to set that aside, and you're going to take like an 8x8 cooking pan and butter it. You see that? I've got all that butter in there. All the sides and all the edges, because you don't want it to stick in there. And then what you're going to do is you are just going to pour this right in there. Try to get it as even as you can all over. Just pour it right down in there, and then use your spoon and get all of this out. Just scrape every piece of this out into your pan. Alright, now that we got all of our mixture into our cooking pan, we are just going to toss it 325 degrees into the oven, and then we'll come back and check it in a minute. Okay, now it's time to check the brownies. Let's pull them out. Now what you're checking for, and they always say, stick a fork in me, I'm done. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this, and we are going to jab it right down in there. And notice not much came off there. That's what you want. You don't want it to be gooey, and you don't, want it to be burnt. So when it's just about done, you'll know, because you can start smelling it, and it's a little gooey. Now I cooked this for 90 minutes. It's a long time, but I'm using the 8x8 pan. It depends on what you use. If you're using one of the 9x12s, it's all up to you. It really depends on which one you use. But just check it over time, and stick the fork in it. So there you go. Fudge brownies, homemade. And there you have it.